Hello everyone, this is twinwayshower. I am a life coach, emotional healer, counselor, EFT and LOA practitioner, and also a wayshower to the twin flames. Thank you so much for appreciating the work and my earlier videos on twin flame introduction, signs that you will be meeting your twin flame, and also signs that you are experiencing a false twin flame relationships. If you haven't watched those videos yet, please do so by clicking on the link that I'm going to put on the description box and also above. Also, if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe to remain updated. Now, being a wayshower, I share my journey with you all so that the experience of mine can help you cope up with your pain and sufferings. I let you know how I dealt with things and what are the things that I faced during my awakening, so that it becomes easier for you. Remember, this is my journey and yours may be completely different. Thus, not everything will resonate. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the purpose of a twin flame journey, and I'm going to explain this through my own experience. Now, ever since you heard this word twin flame, you would have been thinking that must be some kind of, a level up stage of a romantic soulmate kind of a connection, where things, always turned out to be a fairy tale kind of a story with a happily ever after kind of an ending. That's one of the reasons why I see many of the twin flames are really getting very, very mad the moment they enter into a separation phase. They are getting mad for a reunion. They will ask questions: when will I get to meet my twin flame? Will I get reunited with him? Will I get married to that person? Will we be children, etc., etc. Sorry, I have to burst the bubble here right away, but let me just get it very, very straight. There is a definite purpose as to why you have been chosen as a twin flame. And that's definitely not just, and I'm saying it again, not just to be romantic. So romance is part of the journey, but that's not all of the journey. Had it not been so, you would have continued into a romantic relationship, which could have been either a karmic or a soulmate type. Now, what is this purpose, and why in most of the cases the twin flame will actually begin with the dimension of love? So when the twin journey begins, you are actually attracted towards each other, which is normally called the bubble phase of the twin flame, and there is an immediate follow-up by separation. Now, most of the twin flames at this stage are overwhelmed and they are like crying that they are separated. Some of them will even curse, saying that I wish I had never met this, twin flame. The journey is so painful. It's a massive heartbreak. Now, you got to understand here something very, very important. Why it is starting with love. It is love that makes us do impossible things. Love is the greatest motivator on earth. You would have heard, people making Taj Mahal out of love. In India, there is a man who had actually cut an entire mountain to create a road in remembrance of his loved one. Unfortunately, people also harm themselves in the name of love. People will, not even think twice before committing a harm to themselves. You realize how what is the potential that love holds? You literally go weak on your knees when it comes to love. But this is beautiful. Love makes you one with divine nature of yours. It means that you realize your true potential when you are so much in love. In many of my teachings to people, when I talk about the emotion of heartbreak, I ask them, what does heartbreak tell you? And that moment when I pose this question, I see so many people really going so sad about it. They will have tears in their eyes. They'll have a very sad face. But here is something that I must tell you today. You had a heartbreak because you have a heart that could love. Let me repeat it for you. You had a heartbreak because you have a heart that could love. And that that's what makes you equivalent to God. The scripture says, love is God, God is love. So the whole journey of twin flame begins with the realization that you, as a twin flame or a soul who has agreed to wake up during this lifetime, has agreed to learn the biggest lesson of human lifetimes. And for that matter, you will go through various experiences that could be both bitter and sweet. But remember one thing, that it's the balance of both the things that makes our life worth living. So the first purpose of the twin flame journey which I experienced, which I understand is to make you realize that you are an image of God and you have unconditional love which is stored in your heart. You have this flowing fountain of love inside your heart. For that reason, even before meeting your twin flame, you will probably be having several relationships wherein you will put up so much effort, in that relationship, but the other person would have taken it completely for granted, and there might be severe heart breaks, not attacks, sorry. See, that's a realization of how much of a love you hold in your heart. So cheer up, you have a heart that holds love. Now, similar to the unconditional love of God, which does not keep a record of wrongdoing. So when we talk about unconditional love, it means there are no TNCs, there are no conditions. We accept the other person as he is. The scripture says love does not keep a record of wrongdoing. So we are gradually, with the experience, the journey will take us to that point wherein we will be able to forgive people or accept people unconditionally. We will not be keeping any record of wrongdoings of others. We'll be more forgiving, more compassionate, more loving to each other. And this is pretty tough, let me tell you. I mean, you learn to let go of everything that is negative and not done rightly towards you. You learn to forgive everyone of everything, quite literally. Now, the second thing that I learned in this journey is recognition of your true self. As human beings, we have a temperament, we have a belief system. We like and we dislike certain things, and it becomes part of our life. We have different dressing up sense, we have different taste of food, for music, for art, and we have a particular belief system that we agree that certain things are in this manner only, right? And if people contradict with our belief system, we tell them that, I think this is not right, this is not how I feel. This journey will help you to respect your perception, your truth. You will see, while we grow up, our parents, our surroundings and our culture literally bombarded us with a lot of preconceived conditioning. They will tell us, what to do, what to eat, what to follow, what not to follow. They will tell us what to believe, and they will teach us different rituals, and we will blindly follow this. Now, what happens is that this several years of polishing destroys our thought process. We believe everything without questioning. We stop applying our mind, our wisdom to everything. We are told that age is a gap. We are told that there is, men are better or females are better. And we must get married at so and so age. We must compromise in our marriage even if we are happy. We must stick to our work because that is going to give us money. Now the twin journey will trigger you at many such levels, where you would start respecting your authentic self, your authenticity, which will mean saying no to several things and conditions that your soul does not agree to. I keep telling one thing to several people, the people who come to me for guidance. I always tell them, listen to your soul knows it. Our soul is divinely created and it understands the things and beliefs that we love to do. So a particular music, you will find it very soothing to your soul. But there is this rock band music which will not be, because our soul knows what we like and what we don't like. So even if several people tell you to, play that rock band music, your soul will say, no, I don't like it. So listen to your soul. Your soul knows where it finds peace, where it finds happiness. So realize, It will feel joyous when we give in to our heart's desire and not follow what others have to tell us to do. So realize your authentic behavior and respect it. This will also mean, this is a disclaimer here. This will also mean that you will be breaking the norms and the rules and regulations laid down by people. There will be different ways. They will say that, our culture doesn't allow us to be like this, but you will be guided to move out of those things. You will start speaking your truth and not follow the crowd. So it's going to be a huge transformation phase that I realize it happened with me. Number 3, recognition of your true potential. Your twin journey will throw several challenges in front of you. You will be tested on different aspects, especially on different emotional issues like self-love, respecting yourself, listening to your soul, surrendering to your intuition. Now take an example. If you have to motivate a child to run an extra mile in that race, how would you do that? So you would either tell them the words of encouragement. You'll say, yes, come on, you can do it. You will give him, oh, you have this potential in you. You can do it. I know you can do it. Or the other thing that you can do is to discourage him completely and tell them, no, I don't think you can do it. Now this will trigger him to do, take that extra step or pursue their goals faster and also be dedicated to achieve it. That's where the child will pick himself up and start running that extra mile. Your twin journey does exactly the same. It will either encourage you or discourage you completely to do things that you always thought was impossible for you to do. Now you will begin with your spiritual healing, your guidance work, and many other things. Being a light worker, you're blessed to do when you are going through this path. You will be able to recognize the fire which is always there in your heart. It's always there in your belly. And this fire will help you to march forward in your path. So in my twin journey, I realized that I had a desire to learn driving. And my journey helped me to recognize this. There was a belief system wherein people always, in my country, in my neighborhood, they always say that women don't drive a bike. But the potential I had, the potential of the masculinity and the feminine energy inside me always guided me to drive a bike. And not just an ordinary bike, a heavy Royal Enfield. So this journey, this awakening helped me to realize that I have a potential, irrespective whether I'm in a male body or I'm in a female body. The potential is coming from within, from divine that resides in me. And I must believe that I have the power to do all things. All things. And that's where I learned a bike. I also learned how to drive a car. So I'm sharing my experiences here. So you will learn, these are the things that this is the purpose, to get you recognize your potential. I started after my journey, I started with my healing sessions. I had never thought in my lifetime that I will be teaching, I will be a guidance to people. But this true potential of that I can be a wayshower, a guide to people, a life coach to others, I could only realize during this journey. I could understand that I'm much more than what I always believed about myself. Point number 4. Respecting and loving yourself. As you begin this journey of awakening, you learn to love yourself. I don't know if we were ever taught to say that to love ourselves ever. We learn to love and accept ourselves as we are. And to reach that level of self-love, you would have gone through several situations. There would be different emotional situations which would have been presented to you during your lifetime. And that could be related to emotions of guilt, inferiority complex, selfless love, jealousy to others during your lifetime. Now this journey gradually leads you to a situation wherein you become aware of these unhealed areas of your life. And suddenly, all this will get onto the surface. It will start floating, it will start disturbing you. Now, here's a catch. Take an example. You see, when you enter a room and switch on the light, and you see that the room is dirty, it has cobwebs here and there is garbage thrown on one side, there is dust all over. So you have two choices to make here. So there is one choice, either to switch off the light and just ignore it, sleep over it, or the second choice is take a broom and start cleaning it. So something similar happens when you are in this journey. In this journey, all your unhealed issues or emotion will suddenly dawn upon you, and there would be a requirement to clear off things from your soul. Things that have been unhealed for ages. And that's going to be like an urgency now. Now, in your previous relationships, which were not a twin flame thing, you would have experienced, similar issues. Like my relationships made me feel so small, literally small, unworthy, and he used to make me feel very jealous. But now is the time when your real twin comes in, you will have this urgency of clearing off these unhealed, because you understand if you don't clear these unhealed issues, you will never be able to love yourself back, or respect yourself or what you are. So it's going to be an urgency now, and not to be procrastinated any longer. You gradually heal yourself inwardly and ultimately love yourself so much that no outside things can really influence you. Number 5, surrendering the ego. Oh goodness, this is a 3-letter word that actually takes a back seat when you proceed in this journey. Ego in a negative way does not allow us to reconcile or be empathetic to others. It will always tell you that you're superior to others, and it will tell you to boast about yourself and not lower down so that you become at par with the rest. It will always tell you that I am superior, I am right, I will not apologize. As human beings, we are all one and equal in front of the divine. The nature doesn't differentiate between us. We have equal rain and equal sunshine. Thus, this journey will allow you to heal even these issues of egoistic nature. You will mellow down, and it will help you to become more compassionate. Point number 6, detachment. Detachment, also known as a non-attachment, is a state in which a person overcomes their attachment to desire for things, people, or concepts of the world, and they attain a higher perspective, a heightened perspective. This is one of the most important and yet the most hated lesson of this journey of awakening. From my experience, I see the separation phase as one phase which lets us introspect as to where our happiness lies. Think about it. We are unhappy during separation because our twin is not with us. What does it show? It is codependency. We will never be, which means I will never be happy if the twin union doesn't happen. The scripture says, I am the entire universe. Aham Brahm Asmi. Thus, the universe teaches you that you are completely connected and not separated from anyone. So you learn to let go of the things, the concepts, and even people, including your twin. As you grow in this path, you will most certainly be losing many close friends and relatives and people whom you had trusted, including your twin. But understand one thing, the moment you heal and you practice detachment more, letting go, let your happiness be yourself, they will all come back at a certain time once you had learned this lesson of detachment. So that now there is no cord of codependency between the two of you, but just a pure connect of selfless love. Now there are other many aspects of this journey, but discussing now, last but not the least, point number 7, service to others. The journey will help you to understand your inner guidance, and during this time period, you will also learn to know your soul calling or the divine mission. This mission could be of any form, depending on, the psychic gifts, whatever gifts you have been given. So whether it is using your psychic gifts to help others, there are healing abilities, being a listener, being a counselor, being an artist who could, communicate to the world, or just an exemplary person of deeds who could be a way shower or guide to others. You will be encouraged to route all your gifts for the service to others and for the upliftment of human beings. You will be more focused on your path, and you will gradually understand when you are in the path of divine service, rest everything shall be added onto you, and that includes your twin. So this twin journey has taught me, because when I entered this twin journey, I was also questioning God, why is this happening? Is there a purpose of my life? Or otherwise it used to be very saddening when people used to walk into my life and leave. But the twin journey made me ask God, is this the real purpose of my life, or there is something more? Is there something that I can do? And that's where God highlighted that you're a good listener, so you must sit down for counseling with people. Maybe that can help. And people say that my voice is very healing in nature. So when I speak to people, they start feeling healed, they start feeling consoled. So these are my gifts. I tell them I went through different experiences of life, which were few of the things were absolutely bitter. But when people come to me and ask for guidance, I tell them that I understand, because I have been, taken through those experiences in my life. Now I become a guide to you. I can coach you, I can guide you on how to resolve those things, how to find a direction. So the twin journey is the most blessed path that you would have ever got in your life. And it helps you to grow not just spiritually, but also a person who is more powerful, has more potential, and is absolutely positive. So blessed are you, those who are on the twin journey. I hope my words add a little comfort to your journey. And in case you have any questions, any doubts, please write back to me at twinwayshower@gmail.com. You can also comment on the video in the comment box. And I'll appreciate that you could subscribe to my channel so that you receive the further updates. Many, many thanks, and I'm sending you a lot of love through Divine. This is Twin Way Shower. Thank you.